What I hate is when people talk about finding your art style like it's this mysterious thing that just pops out of the sky and you have to kind of grab it after many, many years of trying to find it. And I think finding your art style can be much more strategic than that. But first, I think you need to know what it is you like painting. So if you haven't really discovered that, if you're still very in those early stages, I would suggest trying lots and lots of different art challenges. You know, like Inktober, and you get these ones where you draw a flower every day. I hate flowers. I don't hate flowers, I hate painting flowers. And then ones where you're drawing faces and all sorts. So go through a few of those, work out what it is that you really like painting. Or if it's not an actual thing, maybe it's a medium that you really like painting in. And then what I did was I decided I was going to paint the same reference photo 50 times, but in different ways. I picked a picture of kind of a cute man, because if you're going to draw him 50 times, it needs to be pretty cute, really, doesn't he? So first, before I did all that, I got together a Pinterest board of inspiration of all the stuff I like. And I kind of like grungy kind of faces. I don't like anything neat. And I like kind of weird lines, and a lot of them didn't have colour in, although I do like colour, which is quite strange. So anyway, then what I did next was every day when I was going to paint a face, I'd look at my board and I'd take maybe 2 or 3 of them and I'd think, what's an element I like of that piece? And maybe it was, I like the wobbly line work, or I like the grunginess. And then I'd take those 2 or 3 characteristics and I'd try and create a painting of my reference photo using those characteristics. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But you get to about day 30 and you're like, I want this to be over. I think that's normal. Every challenge, you want it to be over. I don't know what it is. You kind of hit these walls, like athletes say when they do the marathon. It's like that. But I don't know. I've never done a marathon. But that's what I think it might be like. Along the way, I was obviously still looking at social media. So I'd see things that I would never have considered trying before. But because you're kind of in this, should I say, desperate state? It's not a desperate state, but you really want to find this thing. You perhaps try things that you wouldn't have tried before. So I saw this art woman, she's an artist who teaches, and she was demonstrating this technique where she painted a realistic face, but then she would take a scraper and she'd scrape over clear gesso on this charcoal drawing. Do you know what? I hated charcoal. Really didn't like the mess. It gets so messy on your hands, doesn't it? But I thought, you know what? That kind of looks interesting. It's different and it seals the charcoal. So I'm going to try it. Tried it, but of course I didn't have gesso and I didn't have a scraper. So I improvised. I had some clear matte medium and I had a sponge roller. So I thought, I'll use those. But I made the mistake. I thought I was squeezing on the matte medium, which is a nice clear liquid, a bit like glue. But actually, by mistake, I picked up my white acrylic paint. I thought, oh no, quickly grabbed some tissue, trying to wipe it off. But the actual effect was really nice. I really liked what it had done to my drawing. And so that was something I saved. I thought, oh, maybe if I can somehow wipe or put sort of white sweeps of acrylic onto my paintings, maybe I'll like that. And I also tried out using acrylic ink, which I hadn't done that much before. So when I got to the end and I'd done my 50 faces, I looked through them and I thought, well, I knew I'd liked the charcoal with the roller and the draggy acrylic paint. And I knew I liked the acrylic ink. So I bought those together, and that form what pretty much is the basis of my style now. Of course, it evolves all the time. But what I would say is if you want to find your style, focus your attention, pick something, draw it 50 times, draw it, paint it, get your mood board together of stuff you like, take little elements from each. If you've read the book by Austin Kleon, or is it Still Like an Artist, he talks about every artist's style is made up of lots and lots of different artists that they're inspired by their styles. So try it out and see if you can find your art style.